Michael Shikhaniketan Higher Secondary Government-sponsored co-ed English medium school has taken an excellent initiative of teaching and make our students learn day-to-day lessons through audio and video in our YouTube channel. Teachers of all the subjects are working hard to enhance these online classes in the midst of this pandemic situation. It is a request to all the teachers, students and guardians to click the bell icon and subscribe our channel.
Students, today I am going to start with class 12 economics and the topic will be elasticity of demand. So first I am going to introduce to you what is elasticity of demand. So here you can see I have written the definition over here. Elasticity of demand refers to the degree of responsiveness of quantity demanded of a commodity to a change in its determinants. And what are the determinants? The determinants are the price of the commodity, the income of the consumers and the price of related commodities. So elasticity of demand mainly tells us that how much the quantity demanded of a commodity mainly respond to change in its determinants. And what are the determinants? The determinants are the price of the commodity, the income of the consumers and the price of related commodities. Now the elasticity of demand has been classified into three types. The first one is price elasticity, the second one is income elasticity and the third one is cross elasticity. I will explain each of these elasticities to you in details. Now the first one is price elasticity of demand. So mainly price elasticity of demand tells us how much the quantity demanded of a commodity mainly respond to change in its own price, and the formula I have written over here, EP mainly denotes the price elasticity of demand and the formula is percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. So it mainly tells us that how much the quantity demanded of a commodity will respond to change in the price of that particular commodity. Now the price elasticity of demand has been classified into various types. The first one is perfectly inelastic demand, the second one is perfectly elastic demand, the third one is unitary elastic demand, the fourth is elastic demand and the fifth one is inelastic demand. Now I will explain to you each of these price elasticity in details. Now I am going to explain all the classifications of price elasticity. The first one is perfectly inelastic demand. So here is the diagram of perfectly inelastic demand. You can see that the demand curve is a vertical straight line. Here in this case the quantity demanded of a commodity always remains the same no matter how much the price increase or decrease. Here the elasticity, the price elasticity always be equal to 0. And this perfectly inelastic demand is always applicable in case of necessary goods like salt, electricity, etc. In this case you can see that in the vertical axis I have measured the price and in the horizontal axis I have measured the quantity. Now you can see that when the price is rising from P to P1, the quantity demanded is remaining the same, that is OQ amount of quantity is being demanded. No matter how much the price rises, the quantity demanded will always remain same, that is OQ amount of quantity is being demanded. And the next case is perfectly elastic demand. So this is the diagram of perfectly elastic demand. Here you can see that the demand curve is a horizontal line. In this case you can see that when the price is rising from P to P1, no such quantity is being demanded. That is, the consumers are ready to purchase all that they can get a particular price B, but they are not going to pay a single price which is higher than P. That is, when the price is P, a huge amount of quantity is being demanded, and that is why elasticity of demand, price elasticity is equal to infinity. But when the price is rising slightly higher, no such quantity is being demanded. So here the demand curve is a horizontal straight line. So the cases of perfectly elastic demand is basically very rare. Now the next case is unitary elastic demand. Now the unitary elastic demand mainly states that the percentage change in the price of the commodity is equal to the percentage change in the quantity demanded of the commodity. That is, suppose if the price of the commodity falls by 10%, then the quantity demanded of the commodity will also increase by 10%, and that is why elasticity, the price elasticity of demand is equal to 1. Here the demand curve has been represented by a rectangular hyperbola. Here I have drawn two rectangles. You can see that the length and breadth of these two rectangles are unequal, but the area of these two rectangles will be always same, and that is why the elasticity of demand is equal to 1. Next is elastic demand. Here the percentage change in quantity demanded will always exceed the percentage change in price. So the elasticity will be greater than 1. Suppose if the price level falls by 10% and the quantity demanded increase by 15%. So here we can see that the quantity demanded exceeds the change in price level. So here the elasticity of price elasticity of demand will be always greater than 1. Next is inelastic demand. Here it is the total opposite of elastic demand. Here the percentage change in quantity demanded will be always less than the percentage change in price. So the price elasticity of demand will be less than 1. You can I have drawn one diagram in order to explain you. You can see that percentage change in price is always lower than the percentage change in quantity demanded. So it is the case of inelastic demand. Second one is income elasticity of demand. The income elasticity of demand has been represented by EY. In economics, the income is always represented by the symbol Y, and the formula is given percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. So it mainly tells us how does the quantity demanded of a commodity depends on the income of the consumers. So the income elasticity of demand has been classified into three types. The first one is positive income elasticity, the second one is negative income elasticity, and the third one is zero income elasticity. So when the quantity demanded of a commodity increases with the increase in income of the consumers, that is known as positive income elasticity. So positive income elasticity, this type of case is mainly applicable in case of normal goods. Normal goods means food, clothes, books, furniture, these are normal goods. So along with the increase in income of the consumers, the demand for all this type of commodities increases. Next is negative income elasticities. So when the quantity demanded of a commodity decreases with the increase in income of the consumers, that type of elasticity is mainly known as negative income elasticity. So this type of cases you can see in case of inferior goods. So mainly in case of inferior goods, what happens whenever the income of the consumers increases, they always shift from the consumption of inferior quality goods to the consumption of some superior quality goods. So in this way, negative income elasticity is mainly applicable in case of inferior goods. Next one is zero income elasticity. So when the quantity demanded of the consumers remains unchanged along with the increase or decrease in income of the consumers, that is known as zero income elasticity. So this type of cases you can see mainly in case of necessary goods. Necessary goods like salt, electricity, no matter how much the consumer's income increase or decrease, they will just remain to the same consumption of all this type of necessary goods. Third one is cross elasticity of demand. So cross elasticity of demand mainly tells us how much the quantity demanded of some commodity mainly respond to the change in price of some other commodity. Now this cross elasticity of demand, in this case we have taken two goods. The example of cross elasticity of demand, you can say substitute goods or complementary goods, and both of the goods should be related goods. So now what are substitute goods? Substitute goods are those goods which can be used in place of one another, and complementary goods are those goods which are always used together. Now the cross elasticity of demand, here I have written the initiation is as EXY. What is the formula? The percentage change in quantity demanded of commodity X divided by percentage change in price of commodity Y. So, how the percentage change in price of commodity Y is affecting the quantity demanded of commodity X? It is known as the cross elasticity of demand, and that is why it is written as EXY. Now, what are the types of cross elasticity of demand? The types of cross elasticity of demand are positive cross elasticity, negative cross elasticity and zero cross elasticity. Now, what are positive cross elasticity? When the increase in price of one commodity increases the demand for some other commodity, that is known as the positive cross elasticity of demand. It mainly happens in case of substitute goods like tea and coffee. Tea and coffee are substitute goods, so both can be used in place of one another. So, if the price of coffee increases, it will automatically increase the demand for tea. Because the price of tea is remaining unchanged, so people will shift from the consumption of coffee to the consumption of tea. In this way, positive cross elasticity is related to substitute goods, which can be used in place of one another. Next is negative cross elasticity. So, when with an increase in price of one commodity decreases the demand for some other commodity, that is known as negative cross elasticity of demand. It is mainly applicable in cases of complementary goods. Complementary goods are those goods which are used together like car and petrol. So, if the price of petrol increases, it will automatically decrease the demand for car because both are used together, and that is why negative cross elasticity is related to complementary goods. Next is zero cross elasticity. Now, zero cross elasticity is mainly related to some non-related goods. Suppose with an increase in price of one commodity, the demand for some other commodity is not at all affected. So, in this case, it is known as zero cross elasticity, and the examples you can take as apples and TV sets. So, with an increase in price of apples, the demand for TV sets will not increase or decrease because both are non-related goods. So, in this way, zero cross elasticity is related to some non-related goods. So, in this way, I have completed all the three elasticities of demand, and on the next class, I will explain to you the measurements of the elasticities of demand. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Leave a like and comment. Subscribe. And do share the video among your friends.